Tage Jinso Kebe Sonam Lola Benjir Sanje Dubarai Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yevatat Te Sham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yevatat Te Sham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha Om Yeda Prabhavam Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yevatat Te Sham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Tiyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha. Okay, where did we leave last time? 73. Okay. Said now we're talking about the selflessness of person. Selflessness of person and selfless phenomena. You are doing the selflessness of person. That the self is not to be identified as objectively real. And self is like illusion, like a dream. And if this is the case, then the Vietnamese. Okay, and that believing in the self as object real, again we see that there are various levels of acceptance the self as object real. So one, object real in ways that it is the self is permanent, the permanent, and unitary independent. So thus far this is rejected. Now the next is that okay, the self is not permanent. But the self is something which we can identify with respect to mind. So then it's going to the aggregates. Self is not as permanent, separate from the aggregates, but within the aggregates you can find the self. For example, the neuroscientists, they were trying to, of course, the self is undeniable. Let's not forget this. Self is undeniable reality. It does exist. Because when somebody says something nasty to you, you feel sad. I feel sad. There's this I, and in fact the whole world is operating on the basis of the self. All this law, the judiciary, the medical. I think there are how many doctors? 3 doctors there. More doctors? Okay, doctors raise hands. So yes, 3 doctors plus 4 plus 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, there's so many doctors here. Wow. or Pushpaji, doctor, and then the lady there, doctor, the 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, and more here. Okay, so there are many doctors here. Why I'm saying this? Doctors, they distracted me. Huh? Okay, neuroscientists. Oh, no. So what I'm saying is that, say, the doctors, the whole department is there, there's psychiatry, where people have issues. I don't want this problem, schizophrenia problem, I don't want this problem. I don't want to have the stress problem. So because the whole department was set up, whole institution was set up, whole mental health were all set up in order to help this self. The self is suffering, this is undeniable. Let's not forget it. Self is undeniable reality. Next question is, if the self is undeniable, where is it? What is the self like? Then the philosophers, scientists, they were trying to explore what it is like. And neuroscientists, some of them, they would say that in your neurons, we don't really see anything there. So the one central entity to say that this is the self, not to be found there. It's just connectivity of all these neurons, the interconnections, that they work in synchrony. That's it. Behind this, there is no self there. So this is the neuroscientists. Of course, we cannot say that this represents the whole neuroscience, but a great part of the scientists, they speak of the self not to be located on the brains. It's an amazing discovery. Amazing. Then but the self is so undeniable, and it is the most important thing for you and for me and for the world. It's the most important thing. Say, for example, the whole government systems, they are meant to assist the self. And in some cases, the whole government is just to control the self, right? Dictators, to control the self. So, we say the word, one man can take the horse to the river, but 20 men cannot make it drink. So, to whether drink or not drink, it is purely in the hands of the horse, not the people. So there's something there. You say that there's a self there. I don't want to drink it. When that happens, nobody can force. 20 men cannot make it drink. So the self is undeniable. The next question is, what is the self? So, something that, because it's so undeniable, it's so important, it must be so tangible and solid, a permanent self. So the concept of the self as permanent, unitary, independent self gradually evolved. This one. Then the next is that, the self is there, it's there. If you say the self is like a dream, then the whole operation of the universe, the world, just shatters. So therefore, there must be a self there. It's not different, because that I'm a male, I'm not male, I'm a female, I'm non-female, whatever. It's on the basis of the body. So it's connected with the aggregates. And I'm happy, not happy, intelligent, not intelligent, compassionate, not compassionate, so forth. It's all about your mind. So the mind and body, these two are connected in different forms. But these two, with the self, there's the one nature relationship. That because of the body, you describe the self. Because of the mind, you describe the self. So self should be findable amongst the aggregates, not as different. So this is the second class of the philosophers. So many of them, now this is more turning towards the Buddhist philosophers. So many of the non-Buddhists, they would turn to the self as a permanent entity outside the aggregates. Then, this has so much of contradiction, and we cannot resolve this, we cannot defend this position. So the self is findable within you. So it turns towards within the aggregates. So within the aggregate, they say that the self must exist objectively, but it must be findable amongst the aggregates. Then they point to the mind. Most of the Buddhist philosophers, they then point to the mind as the self. So here, Bodhisattva says, 73, verse number 73. This mind cannot be posited as the self, because this mind can be thought of on three levels. The past mind, the present, and the future. The past mind is gone, it's not the self. The future mind is yet to come, it's not the self. So what is the self, if at all there's a self with respect to identified as a mind, is a present mind. And the present mind is so brief. The present is so brief. So the very next moment, it disappears. So therefore, you should not be able to posit the self existing as existing as the nature of the three times. So it says, 73, the past and the future minds are not the self, since they do not exist presently. And if the mind presently arising with the self, when it perishes, when the present mind is gone, it's just a very brief moment, there would in fact be no self. So particularly when they present the self as objective real, to be identified amongst the aggregates. Objective real means your mind has no role to play. It should be purely objective, independent of your mind. If that happens, then the two things cannot be connected. Say, past, present, and the future. These three things should be independent from each other. If that the past in any ways is gone, it's not a self. Future in any ways is the yet to come, is not a self. So you have a self alive. There should be the present. And the present, past and future, they are like three disconnected things, because they're objectively real as posited by the advocates of true existence. In which case, get rid of the past and the future, get rid of them. Then the present is so brief and they are not connected, it is not connected with the past and future. So when it's gone, it's gone. The self should be zero, but the self never dies, meaning that self forever exists. So it contradicts with this. 74. So with this, what the Bodhisattva was saying is that, so therefore the self, it exists. It's an undeniable reality. It does exist, but it's not findable as objectively real. It's like a dream. It's like illusion. 74. For example, when the trunk of a plantain tree or banana tree, so banana tree would be, the trunk would be a very good example, is split apart. So when you see the banana tree, you see like it's so strong there. When you split it, to see what is inside, it's just hollow. So likewise, you see the self. Okay, look at each other. Look at each other. There's somebody there so elegantly sitting, a little tired, planning for their tickets for the, 2 days later, right? So when will I get them on my mobile? And then, okay, after the retreat, I'll make sure that I'll get for 2 days good rest, good sleep, right? So in the dormitory, right, so I'll have a good rest. So I'll make sure that I get a good hotel. So this I, this undeniable, right? Whereas if you split, where is this I, which is so important, you split it, then you end up seeing, first you remove the body, the way the Bodhisattva, the Shantideva did. The body is split into parts, the mind is split into parts. Then you say there's nothing, it's just like the plantain tree split, and you see it's hollow inside, there's nothing really there. Okay, so it says, 74. For example, when the trunk of a plantain tree is split apart, nothing is found. Likewise, when sought after investigation, a self also cannot be found as an absolute thing, meaning that there's something existing objectively other than what your mind imputes. 75. So this, we are bound to get the feeling that that's very true. For example, let's say, particularly we identify the people, the self, with respect to your face, identifying the self with respect to the face is very strong. We're not saying that the face is a self, but the self connected with the face. Because, okay, some of you might have seen that. So, in the documentary films, documentary films, the doctors know this so well. Say, for example, if I have some cancerous, the bones inside, somewhere inside the skull or wherever the face bones, then they will split the face like this, cut like this, then face open like this, open like this. What? Over self. Whenever this is a person like this, identity disappears and an extremely strange feeling will come to you that the self is not really there. You getting it? How many of you have seen that document? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The doctors, I know. Others? You have never seen. Geshe, no. You have never seen that. These documents. Where the face is for medical treatment, to treat the person, the patient. You cut the face like this, and then split open the parts. The person is gone. Right? Okay, how many feel something like this eerie? Okay. Some people who are stronger? Okay, when you see that, then you realize. Okay, if anybody can retrieve that, then you can send it, spread. Let them watch. But I would say, mentally, if you are too sensitive to these things, don't watch it. Don't watch it. It can really disturb you terribly, because it shakes your belief in the objective self and is very disturbing. You getting it? Okay. 75. Suppose you ask, if sentient, okay, this is now like the response more like 75 and 76. Response to the Shoheli's question. What is that? What is your question? Mike?
So the question was, if 24/7 we are into 3 poisons, then where is the hope to get out of this misery?
So why 3 poisons 24/7? Why?
Because there are 3 feelings.
Exactly.
And 3 feelings.
There's no escape from the 3 feelings. Whether you're Buddha, non-Buddha, samsaric beings, arahats, everyone has 3 feelings. With the 3 feelings, what we learned is 3 poisons will ensue. Not for the Buddhas, for us. Then the question.
Yeah, if we are like 24/7 into
poisons,
into
3
3 poisons, yeah, then where is the hope to
where lies the hope? This is the question. Okay, so let's see. 74. Suppose you ask, if sentient beings do not exist, so what we talked thus far, and I'm sure that this question will resonate with many of us, you're thinking. What we said is that thus far what we said is like, so you wake up from the dream, and the fears in the dream stop. The fears in the dream stop, right? So when you wake up so what I'm seeing, all this will dissolve. So, which means that nothing exists objectively, including sentient beings. Sentient beings also dissolve. So, for whom you are meditating compassion? For whom? What for you are meditating compassion? Compassion to whom? For whom? Sentient beings. Sentient beings dissolved already. Right? So this question, it says, if sentient beings do not exist meaning dissolve in the experience of emptiness. Wow, now I'm not affected by the dream. If sentient beings like dream, you wake up, the dream dissolves. So sentient beings being a part of the dream, the sentient beings should dissolve. So why are you going to meditate? Why do you meditate on compassion? What for? If sentient beings do not exist, towards whom could one generate compassion? Okay, now the response. Well, objects of compassion are those beings accepted as existing for whom we cultivate desire to achieve the resultant state of enlightenment, and who are imputed by ignorance. You're getting it? For example, let's say, it's not that the sentient beings are non-existent completely. What we discover is that the sentient beings don't exist objectively. They exist like illusion. Say, you agree that person A is nothing but this bunch of atoms and mind. Mind and atoms, bunch of atoms and the mind, that's it. And on that level, the person A makes no sense. But from distance, conventional analysis, again the person A appears. With alternate analysis, person A disappears. It makes no sense. But somewhere it appears, which means from the object is not there. Something appears. Something appears means appears to your mind. It's purely on through the mind, not on the object. Don't say in the mind. Don't say in the mind. This is a technical mistake. It's from the mind, or it's through the mind, not in the mind. You getting it? It's through the mind. So, with this, for example, say, how many you see a person sitting next to you? And how many of you would say, undeniably, there's a person sitting next to me? Resents undeniably. Very good. So, whether you accept your ultimate analysis or not, the person is there. You agree? Okay. So, the point is that, but when you subject the person to ultimate analysis, that person who you earlier saw is totally non-existent. But from distance, again it appears. It appears. And that is, on that level, the functionality operates. On that level, where appearance is there, behind this, there's nothing really there. When you go closer to the object, it's not there. It's just an illusion. On that level, then everything is operating so well. But in the dream, it's also appearance. Dream is also appearance. There, the functionality is not operating efficaciously. It can be very chaotic. Cause and effect can be very chaotic. So, I think when I was in my 20s, 26 or 27, 28, the one thing which was, I was in Damdul monastery, and one thing which really disturbed me so much is that I could not distinguish what is the reality, waking state, and what is the dream state. I could not make distinction. And of course, like this, I would say it's a waking state. But I have no reason to justify that this is waking state. It disturbs me a lot. In the waking state, I cannot determine whether it's waking state or not. Dream state, dream, whether it's a dream or not, I check it. In dream, I check it. For example, say, one time what happened was that I was picking up, like in those days, I say, nowadays one mobile has everything. Torch, radio, video, camera, alarm, bows, camera, even the compass. In those days you need everything separate. So in those days we have the tape recorder, solid one. Tape recorder, right? And say in my dream, I was holding a tape recorder. Suddenly the tape recorder changed into chocolate. Oh, I was so happy. This is 100% dream. You're getting it? 100% dream. It will never happen in the waking state. Waking, simply because cause and effect is the proper orderly operating, does not mean that it is not dream. But if the cause and effect is not orderly operating, 100% is dream. You're getting it? So this says how I was checking in the dream, because I'm so disturbed to see, I cannot distinguish between what is dream and non-dream. Okay, so with this analysis, we see that it makes no sense as a person and so forth, but from distance, again the person appears, right? Person appears. Okay, for this, I'd like to give you this simple example which the Brenslow was about to share. Okay. Okay, first let me say this. Say, okay, say, okay, today's birth of His Holiness, right? So we're going to celebrate. So we need to have a big photograph of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We don't have big ones. No, this is too small. 20 feet by 20 feet, right? 20 feet by 20 feet. Okay, never mind. So the IT staff, the Israeli, he's very active. He said, Geshe, don't worry, I'll go there. So he went to the market and brought up 20 feet by 20 feet the picture of His Holiness to celebrate the birth of His Holiness. So put up at the top of this, right? At the top of this, and he's actually a very cheeky boy, right? So what he did is that, you know that these photographs, they're either made of the pixels or they're made of the dots. You know that? The photographs, either they're made of dots or they're made of pixels. So let's say the other system, the dots, DPIs, 200 DPIs, which means 200 dots per inch. So 200 dots per inch is, in 1 square inch, there is 40,000 dots, which form the picture. It's a real photograph. So, and if you, this 1 inch by 1 inch, which has 40,000 dots, if you magnify it like 20 feet by 20 feet, then all the dots will become visible. You agree? And he's very cheeky to make all the dots are teddy bears. All the dots are teddy bears. You getting it? So we displayed it at the top. So from Mangalore, they can see this. And everybody in Mangalore, they're so happy. Happy birthday, Your Holiness. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. And some of them bring incense. Right? And then people here, Tushita, they come, so excited, they come there, they see teddy bears. And then hear all this, long life His Holiness. You see the people with your, what is that, binoculars? You see people turn towards you, right? Saying, long life Your Holiness. Where is His Holiness? It's just teddy bears, right? And people are respecting, prostrating, and you are just making fun, teddy bears. Right? Who is correct? How can both be correct? One is being so respectful and one is being just making fun. You're getting it? So, which means that you are not seeing, if you are correct, you are not seeing His Holiness's picture. You are just seeing the teddy bears. You're getting it? Where is the picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama? If I ask you, is there a picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, what will you say? You will see, you have never been distanced as far as the Megalganj. So you're too close to it. So you'll say, no, there's no picture of the Dalai Lama. It's just a teddy bears. 40,000 teddy bears. You're getting it? So therefore, for you, and whose perception is closer to the object? Your perception or those from the Megalganj? Your perception more closer to the object. So that is closer to the ultimate. So your analysis, if at all there should be ultimate analysis, your way of the perception is ultimate, where the picture of His Holiness is not there, through close inspection. Through close inspection, His Holiness picture is not there. But when you ask these people, why are you saying happy birthday, they make prostrations to what? Where? Right? Look at that picture on top of the Tushita. You getting it? So that is the picture of His Holiness Dalai Lama. Okay, so this is where they make prostrations. Now, on the and are they seeing the tree picture? Are they seeing tree or not? They're not seeing tree. Are they seeing house? No. They're seeing what? Only His Holiness the Dalai Lama's pictures. Are they seeing like any other person? No. So, but you are saying that no person, no His Holiness the Dalai Lama, no house, just teddy bears. But for them, although what you are seeing is very close by, what they are seeing is from distance. So where is that what they are seeing? It is coming to the mind, it's coming from the mind. What is coming from the mind? But only the picture of His Holiness comes, not anything else. You're getting it? So it's very precise. Although there's no picture of His Holiness when you come close, but from distance you only see the picture of His Holiness and not anything else. This is the efficacy of dependent origination. But depends on these factors, only His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture come. Although it is mentally imputed, but only one thing is imputed, you cannot randomly, the say of your choice. You're like, oh, I just like to visualize some like the dancer or footballer and so forth. No, only His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture arises. So that is the efficacy of dependent origination. Objectively, there's nothing there, but depends on these the dots, how the teddy bears are put from distance. The picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama originates. Independent origination. It is very precise, very precise. No other picture comes about. Although on the objective level, no tree, no house, no food, no chocolate, no flower, no His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture, but from distance, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture comes, not anything else. You getting it? This is known as the efficacy of the dependent origination. It's not that, simply because it's not objective real, it's subjective. Subjective doesn't mean that our subject can create anything. It cannot create anything. The dependent origination is operating. So therefore, say the two sides of the same coin. Number one, emptiness. Come to the object, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture is emptiness. From distance, you see what? From the object there's no picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. But from distance you see the picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You don't see the picture of a house, chocolate, flower and so forth. You only see one picture. You're getting it? So there's the efficacy of the dependent origination. Not that subjective means anything can ever happen. No, it's not. It doesn't happen. This is known as the efficacy of dependent origination. So, Prasangika, Lama Tsongkhapa, what Lama Tsongkhapa said is that to see emptiness of objective reality and at the same time explain the dependent origination, functionality to the world so efficaciously, that is the most challenging part of the Prasangika philosophy. This is what Lama Tsongkhapa taught. Let me repeat it. Lama Tsongkhapa taught that to reject any degree of objective existence and at the same time account for the functionality of the world so efficaciously, this is the most challenging part of Prasangika's philosophy. If you understand this, then Aranigarjuna said, having seen the emptiness of intrinsic reality and yet conform to the law of karma, this is the wonder of all the wonders, and this is amazement of all the amazements. You're getting it? So this is where we really need to they really need to work on to understand objective, nothing is there. So subjective. Subjective means it's like illusion. But in the illusion, there's the proper functionality of the world. It's not that within anything that it's the nihilism. No, it's not nihilism. Okay. Okay, so it says so now let's say then now the next question is that from distance, what do you see? When you look up to Tushita at the top, what do you see? Picture of His Holiness. So what makes you have the appearance of the picture of His Holiness and not the picture of a flower? Why not? Why not? Huh? Special configuration. So where is this? It is on the dots or in between or where? So this is a huge question. Why? It is not on the object. It's not the object. There's some your mind. It appears to your mind. This has been created by your mind. But your mind cannot create anything. Only the image of His Holiness the Dharamsala photograph. Right? So why this is happening? So it says here, the 75. Suppose you ask, if sentient beings do not exist objectively, towards whom could one generate compassion? Well, objects of compassion are those beings accepted as existing for whom we cultivate the desire to achieve the resultant state of enlightenment and who are impeded by ignorance. You getting it? Okay, let's say, in a way, okay, don't feel too offended. Some people, we may take it too seriously, right? In a way, we are all like schizophrenic patients, right? You getting it? Say what we are seeing, the different things. Say we see them as objectively real. And who is creating this? Say the movie on the screen. Say this movie, where is it coming from? Projector. Our mind is the projector. And why our mind projected only His own photograph and not others? You're getting it? This is a question. So it says that these are who are imputed by ignorance. So what makes us, for example, just imagine that okay, what is this? Singing ball. How nice does it appear? Nice or so-so? So-so, right? Okay. Say, Mount Kailash. And then one group looks at it through a very murky the lens of your goggles, and another group look at it through an extremely clear lens of your goggles. So then I say, what is this? Both sides will say, this is Mount Kailash. And how nice is it? And group A will say, it's very murky. And group B will say, so beautiful, so spick and span clean. Right? The same object. So the Mount Kailash as the dirty Mount Kailash, seen through the lens of a dirty goggles, that is samsara. The clean Mount Kailash, seen through the clean lens of the goggles, that is nirvana. So when you see the Mount Kailash dirty, you feel more happy, or when you see the Mount Kailash very clean, you are happy? Clean, you are happy. So when you have the experience of nirvana, you are happy. Experience of samsara, you are unhappy. Right? Is it the same mountain or same mountain or different mountain? Same mountain. So form is empty. Empty is form. So nirvana. So therefore, many of the texts in there you said mention of the nirvana, samsara. These two are the same. Actually, they are not same, but same entity, but are they real? They say in the conventional sense, are they same entity? We say no, these two are not same entity. But from that point of view, we see that, say, it's just your perception, how you perceive it. So those people whose minds, mental defilements are purified, then they see things as so divine, pure, that is nirvana. When the mind is defiled, you see something is defiled, that is samsara. So the same Mount Kailash, the dirty Mount Kailash, seen through the dirty lens, that is samsara. So dirty Mount Kailash, don't think that the God created dirty Mount Kailash. It's your mind. Dirty mind made the Mount Kailash dirty. Right? So sometimes we blame the gods. Right? Oh, I have this problem because of higher being, blaming the God, right? Oh, this happened because of God. We blame the gods. No, it is our misperception. You clean your lens and Mount Kailash will be clean. You getting it? So from this we see this pure purely dependent on your mind. Purely dependent on your mind. So why we are seeing this, seeing the impure samsaric beings, sentient beings, impure samsaric sentient beings, is because our mind over there is just a bunch of atoms and the mind there. Mind also past, present, future, right? You don't even find what the mind is when you go towards the ultimate analysis. So from distance we see something. That something that you see is because of our ignorance, which is making us to project that as this photograph, this person, this chocolate, this house, this imperfection, this nasty, and so forth. This all projected by our mind. And this why our mind is projected like this is because of the ignorance, because of the innumerable lifetimes of the chronic disease of the ignorance, which makes our mind to project like this, right? Okay, so then so you see that, which means that the ultimate analysis, you see the emptiness. Sentient beings, they non-existent. Other side, conventional analysis, we sentient beings. You're getting it? So sentient beings that we see through your lens of the perception, that is a sentient being, and that is suffering. You see suffering, so you have to help. You have to help, and by helping, your compassion increases, and your ease increases. Your ease increases. Your happiness increases, and sentient beings also benefited. Sentient beings are benefited. You show compassion, you benefit on that level, because we are operating on which level? Ultimate level, conventional level. On the conventional level, everything operates so efficaciously. So you go to hell, the person is helped, and you teach them emptiness, the person understands emptiness, and the person wakes up. Okay. So the point is that now this is still not a complete answer to the question. So next verse. Suppose you then ask, who owns the fruit? Or, instead of who owns, it should be like, who is going to own the fruits? Who is going to own the fruits of enlightenment? Who is going to own the fruits of enlightenment? Which means, who is going to own the fruit of enlightenment? Which means, that person is enlightened or not enlightened? Who is going to own the fruits? Enlightened or enlightened? Not enlightened, very good. Which means they are sentient beings. You're getting it? So, who owns or who is going to own the fruit if there are no sentient beings? If the sentient being is like dream, if it is not really there, then sentient beings should struggle to attain nirvana, attain Buddhahood. So you are going to attain the fruit of Buddhahood. But if you are not the sentient being, who's going to attain this fruit? Well, I would say that perhaps from the complete book, the 10 chapters of this text written by Bodhisattva Shantideva, I would say that these two lines can be very challenging. And I would say that only when one gets some understanding of emptiness, these two verses will speak to you. Till that point, it will remain very blurry. Okay, so fair enough, but this is accepted on the level of imputation by ignorance. Again, the same. Say that I am a sentient being who is going to attain the fruit of enlightenment. I'm the sentient being. But which I? Objectively, there's no I. But then the I appears in the eyes of the conventional analysis. I appears to conventional analysis. And this, which means that this I is not that objectively there, it appears to the conventional analysis. It's not there objectively, but it's a mere appearance to the conventional analysis. And how come this conventional analysis, it makes you appear as appears as a sentient being, you as a sentient being, not as an enlightened one. So, what make you to appear this is because of your ignorance. So this ignorance makes you to have this, and yet this ignorance is not like, okay, with ignorance I can just think of anything. No, there is two levels of how the emptiness of objective reality, but subjectively there are two levels of operating. One is just pure imagination. Number two is dependent origination. While both, only appearance is there, but one where the dependent origination operating so efficaciously, and others were just a pure imagination, nihilism. So he says, well, fair enough, but this is accepted on the level of imputation by ignorance. So this self, as the sentient being, objectively is empty, but subjectively imputed as a self, as a sentient being. This imputation is happening because of the imprints of our ignorance. So, if this ignorance to impute ourselves as sentient beings is not there, if this ignorance is gone, then we are not a sentient being. If you're not a sentient being, you don't have the defilements. If you do not have defilements, something which is freed of defilements, a being which is freed of defilements is known as enlightened being, Buddha. So there's a Buddha. So that is known as the natural Dharmakaya, or the natural Buddha nature. Natural Buddha nature. So when you see this natural Buddha, then you become awakened. Not just see meaning that you experience it and you have a stable experience of that. Then this is the attainment of enlightenment, Buddhahood. For the sake of the result, in order to completely pacify, okay, now look, okay, I'm going to wake up. So our job is to wake up. Our job is to wake up. Okay, now you say, yes, I'll try to wake up, right? I'll try to wake up. I'm going to wake up. Going to wake up is in the dream or waking up? Still in the dream. You're getting it? Waking up is, I'm going to wake up is good or bad? I'm not going to wake up. And I'm going to wake up. Which is better? So which will potentially take you closer to the fully waking state? I'm going to wake up. So going to wake up is in the process, is still in the dream. But within the dream, one part is far away from waking up. One is closer towards waking up. You're getting it? Every moment, although we say waking up means it's in the form of poison. Still in poison, 24/7 poison, right? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up. You go closer to the door. The door, till the door is a poison, right? Or let's put it like this. From the outside, going into the room. From outside, you are in the kitchen space. From there, so everywhere is poison. So Thea is the medicine, pure paradise, a waking state. So from there you said, oh, I'll go into the waking state. I'll go into waking. Where's the waking state? This hall. So for this you have to enter from there. Let's say this is only entrance. So you come closer. Closer means, closer door means you are in the door or outside door. Outside door is in the sleep or outside sleep. Sleep is the poison or not? Poison. So you are still the poison. Within the poison, the grade of poison is different. Someone deeply grade, no, I don't want to go to this hall. I don't want to go to nirvana. That is deep poison. No, I must go to nirvana. I must go to nirvana. And putting effort. Going closer door, still you are in the dream state. But you're closer towards the waking up. Although in a dream state means you are affected by the ignorance, poison. But within the poison there are various degrees, some are deep and some are less. So this is a very profound answer. Very profound answer given by Bodhisattva Shantideva. If you read the commentary, various commentaries, to get the real understanding, convincing understanding is very difficult. You're getting it? This topic is, these two verses, they are so precious, so precious. Okay. 76 once more. I suppose you then ask, who owns the fruit, or who is going to own the fruit if there are no sentient beings? Well, fair enough, but this is accepted, or the sentient being is accepted on the level of the imputation by ignorance. For the sake of the result, so now, What is the result that you are seeking to get into this house? The result is to get into this house, to wake up. For the sake of the result, in order to get there, you have to work closer. You have to work. So this effort happens in this hall or outside the hall. Outside the hall is the metaphor for influenced by ignorance. So it says, for the sake of the result, in order to get to the result, to get the result of waking up, in order to completely pacify suffering, which means how to completely pacify suffering? Wake up fully. Waking up, do not abandon those aspects of the path which have an element of ignorance. Which means that, okay, Mark got something. Yeah, Mark was passing. Wow. I can see that, yeah. He got something. Okay, so they say, for you to get here to this door, is it important that you get to the 5 meters away from this door, which is better than 20 meters away from the door? Yes. So all these steps, closer to the door, these are still outside in the dream state. Dream state means influence of ignorance. So these steps are very important. Yes, from 20 meters away, and then you get to 10 meters away. These steps are very important. Don't abandon these steps. These steps are so important. Although these are influenced by ignorance, they are so important. Why influenced by ignorance? Because they are still in the dream state. Dream state means you are influenced by the ignorance. So these steps are so important. Don't abandon them. Simply saying that this ignorance created this. Don't abandon them. These are the steps closer to your awakening. They are so precious to attain the result. You getting it? So do not abandon those aspects of the path which have an element of ignorance. Should I got the answer? Mike. I think if surely you still are not too happy, ask Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, he got it. I can see that, yeah.
With this explanation, I can see there is hope, but there is only hope for the prasangikas. What about the others?
Become prasangika.
Yeah, I mean, then it's kind of implying that prasangika is the only hope and everyone should follow. Then we are saying like all the schools.
No, there's no the person born with the label prasangika. You know, you can become prasangika, right? So what's the hope? To survive you have to eat food, right? Only those people who eat, they can survive. Where's the hope for those people who do not eat food? Where's the hope for those people who do not eat food? Look, it's so biased. Actually, is it true? Only those people who eat food, they will survive. Is it true?
Yeah.
It's so biased. Those people who do not eat food, then how will they survive? What about this? You're not thinking about these people. You're only thinking about the people with food. Without food, without eating food, not with food, without food. Eating food and not eating food. Right? So not eating food, like Dharamsala, right? Where's the hope for survival? Tell me.
No, I get it. Then everyone should be
No.
prasangika.
Tell me, what should we do?
Eat food.
No, they are not eating food. They are in the category of not eating food.
We can only just suggest them.
Well, look, hey, there, Dharamsala, she's not eating food. So what do we do?
We can advise her to have food.
Likewise, we can advise them to become prasangika.
Okay, I get it.
Good. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody else. Okay. Next selflessness phenomena. Selflessness phenomena. Okay, selflessness of person done. Next is selflessness phenomena. Selflessness phenomena. Selflessness phenomena is going to be explained. Selflessness phenomena is explained on the basis of what is known as the four mindfulnesses. And selflessness phenomena explained by Acharya Chandrakirti is on the basis of Arya Nagarjuna's rejection of the four modes of production in Mula Madhyamika Karika. Whereas phenomena explained by Bodhisattva Shantideva is based on the practice of the four mindfulnesses. So before we wind this up, I'm going to explain what are the four mindfulnesses. This is so important. Okay, the first, when you speak of the mindfulness of what? So there are some trainings, practices, walking meditation, for what? Building your mindfulness. And then let's say that, and some people also encourage you or advise you to practice like, okay, now I am drinking this juice, lifting up the mug, I'm being aware, being mindful of each of these ones. These are extremely precious meditation. They are not to be undermined. They are very, but don't think that this is everything. You're getting it? It's not everything. This is just the mere practice of the mindfulness. And the mindfulness, for example, say you are creating the container. You are creating a container, a beautiful container. The container is useless if the contents are missing. You're getting it? So what are the contents? The four mindfulnesses will give you the contents. Then when you go to the Bodhisattva's practice, the contents are going to be extremely rich. You're getting it? Extremely rich. So for the time being, the four mindfulnesses. The four mindfulnesses say mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feeling, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of the phenomena. Four mindfulnesses. Mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feelings, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of the body. Mind. Phenomena. Four. Okay. So with this mindfulness of the body, what is meant by mindfulness of the body? Right? Just think of the body? No. So let's say the flower. Oh, this flower is beautiful. Oh, this flower is withering. So there's one as the object and one as the characteristic of the object. The flower is the object and the characteristic of the object. The flower is beautiful, the flower is withering. These are the characteristics of the object. So with the mindfulness of the body, you should have the characterized, which is the object, and the characteristics. Characterize the object and the characteristic. Two things should be there for all the kinds of mindfulness. So for the body as impure. Body is impure. Body as the characterized and the impurity as the characteristic. Body is impure. Mindful of the body as impure. One's own body is impure. Others' body is impure. Not that you are dirty, That's not the point. The point is that to whom you feel excess attachment to. And if you're not interested in the nirvana, right? If you're not interested in waking up, then it's fine. It's not an issue. Right? You don't do meditate in the four mindfulnesses. Only for those people, if you're really, say for example, say you want to sit for a very important competitive exams, and your friends are calling you for nightclubs, drinks, and so forth, right? So what should we do? Should we go? Not go? Maya, not go. Why not? Huh? Okay, there are two persons there. One is sitting for extremely important, the exam, to sit for a very important, and it requires intense studies, extended period of studies. And the other person doesn't have any such things, right? Doesn't have such the ambitions. And both of them were, dragged by their friends. Come, nightclub, right? Come for the nightclub, come to the pubs, the college mate gatherings, college friends gatherings, so forth. Will you go or not go? If you are So which of the two person, if at all, you say okay, which of the two person you will say okay? The first one or second one? First person who has to sit for a very strict competitive exam, and the other one who doesn't have these things. Second one, right? Well, so you can, okay, why not the first one?
Maybe the first one also can go, but not drink his bed and come back.
It can become worse. It can become worse. Because what are you doing? You're so boring. Right? You come to the pubs. Why did you come to the pubs in the first place then? Right? If you're not doing it right now, you should not have come. You're spoiling a day. Right? It can become worse. So if you're doing something. Okay, fine, Maya. So what I'm saying is that if you want to exit out of samsara, then these are distractions, right? We spend a lot of time on these, infatuation, right? So for this, we have to cut our infatuation and dedicate. We only have 24 hours. So we don't have like, say, 70 to 1,000 hours per day. We have only 24 hours. And if the whole chunk of the 24 hours going in this direction, then the seeking nirvana is just a joke. So those people who seek nirvana, who don't want nirvana, that's for you is okay. For you is okay, right? You don't meditate, you don't even touch this book. Right? For those who are interested, then this is the mindfulness of the body is impure. Then the mindfulness of the feelings as Brinslav, as suffering nature. Okay, mindfulness of body, mindfulness of feeling. Body is impure, feeling as suffering nature. Then what is next? Mindfulness of mind. Mindfulness of mind as impermanent, as transient, or as impermanent. Then finally, mindfulness of phenomena. Mindfulness of phenomena as selfless, as the nature of the selflessness. Very good. So these are the four mindfulnesses which you find taught as something common, to both sides, Bodhisattva practitioners and the personal liberation seekers and the Bodhisattvas. For them, so these four are taught. And then there's something which is very unique for the Bodhisattvas or the minor path, is to think of all these four, the body, feelings, mind, and phenomena, as of the empty of intrinsic reality. Okay. So with this in mind, now say here, Bodhisattva Shantideva is not going to explain like the body being impure, feeling as miserable, the suffering nature, and the mind as impermanent. He's not going to touch on this part. This is common to both the sides. Something which is uncommon for the Bodhisattvas, that all four, be it body, feeling, mind, phenomena, all to be seen as empty of intrinsic reality. Just focus on this part. And some of you may be wondering that even the Shravakas also have to see all these four as empty of objective reality. So why seeing the emptiness of objective reality of these four is seen as a minor practice? So it's primarily because that, for the Shravakas and Pradik Buddhas, for them, just is talking about the phenomena as of the selfless nature. Meditate on emptiness, just one aspect is good enough. Not necessarily to go through all the multiplicity, the numerous ways of looking at the emptiness. That is not required. For example, let's say that if I want to say there are two persons, person A and B. Person A wants to have just a symbol like a symbol shed, symbol hut. And the other person B wants to build a whole, let's say, the campus with the space for like hundreds of the poor people, charity space for people to live. So which of the two say, then both of them are going for fundraising, right? So then somebody is there, okay, I'll give you some money, and then you don't go for fundraising. It's not nice. And then the person gives you, let's say, in US dollars, let's say 10,000 US dollars. Is it good or not good? Huh? Huh? It's good. Which means that you are the first person, not the second person. You are not working for the charity. Charity, like hundreds of rooms are going to build for the poor people. And the first one's building just one small room for you oneself. For you, 10,000 US dollars, good enough, very good. But for the charity, hundreds of rooms you cannot build with this money. You're getting it? So we need no more money. So likewise, for the Shravakas and Pradik Buddhas, they just meditate on emptiness, symbol form. It's good enough. You don't have to meditate on every emptiness, everything. But for the Bodhisattvas, to cleanse the mental defilements and the mind of the cognitive obscurations, it's a huge responsibility. So the meditation emptiness must be extremely, extremely sophisticated. For this incredible exercise is required. Emptiness of everything. As much as possible, we have to think of emptiness. Sleeping, eating, the resting, going out, meeting with friends, we are advised to think of emptiness as much as possible. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay. Venerable Kumbhenla. Yes. So how do you do? Please.
Please request Geshe to offer the cake on behalf of all of us and all sentient beings to His Holiness.
Yes.
To have a long and stable life, and to teach us until samsara ends, and never ever leave us, and always keep us hooked with His compassion, even if we are too thick-skulled.
Okay.
Maybe the mantra first, Geshe?
Okay, we can do one thing. We will recite the long life prayer of His Holiness the Dalai Lama before cutting the cake. Which page? 267. Are you ready? The Song of Immortality, pray for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, composed by His Holiness's two tutors, Gyabje Ling Rinpoche and Gyabje Tejang Rinpoche, the previous ones. Om Swasti, to the assembly of most kind teachers, both present and past, the miraculous dance of the body, speech, and the mind of innumerable Buddhas, manifesting in accord with their aspirant spiritual capacities, the wish-granting jewel, the source of all virtue and goodness. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons, shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of all meditational deities, manifesting as countless mandala divinities, the magical clouds of immaculate transcendent wisdom, reaching to the farthest expanse of the space of ultimate reality, to you we offer prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons, shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all the victorious Buddhas of the three times, endowed with 10 powers and who are even masters of the gods, and whose attributes and professions are the source of all compassionate deeds, benefit the vast ocean-like realm of sentient beings. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 aeons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of sacred doctrine embodied in the three vehicles, supremely serene, a jewel treasure in enlightenment, stainless, unchanging, eternally good, and the glory for all virtues, which if actually liberate beings from the suffering of the three worlds. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion that Tenzin Gyatso, protect the land of snows, live for 100 aeons. Shower him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all members of the enlightened and noble spiritual community who never stray from the thoroughly liberating adamantine city, who possess the wisdom eye that directly sees the profound truth and has valor to destroy all machinations of cyclic existence, to you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion that Tenzin Gyatso, protect the land of snows, live for 100 aeons. Shower in him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of heroes and darkinis, heavenly beings of the three worlds, who appear in the highest paradises, in their sacred places, and in the cremation grounds, and who, through the creative play in the hundredfold experience of bliss and emptiness, support practitioners in the meditation on the excellent path. To you we offer perfect. To Tenzin Gyatso, protect the land of snows, live for 100 aeons. Shower him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the ocean protectors endowed with eyes of transcendental wisdom, the powerful guardians and upholders of the teaching, who were inseparable on the merit logs, the knot symbolizing their pledge to the Vajradhara, to you we offer a prayer with fervent devotion that Tenzin Gyatso, protect the land of snows, live for 100 aeons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. Thus, to this congregation of excellent, undeceiving refuge, we pray that by the power of this prayer, expressed from the heart filled with fervent devotion and humility, may the body, spirit, and mind of the soul of the land of snows, the Lord, Supreme Lord of San Tenzin Gyatso, be indestructible, unfluctuating, and may he live immutable for 100 aeons, seated on a diamond throne, transcending decay and destruction. You are the jewel heart embodying all compassionate beneficial deeds. O most courageous one, you carry on your shoulders the burden of all the Buddhas of the infinite realms. May all your noble aspirations be fulfilled, be as intended. By virtue of this, may the heavenly doors of the fortunate era open eternally as a source of relief and the response for all beings, and may the auspicious signs reach the apex of existence and release. As the sacred teachings of flourish through all times and in all realms, may the nectar stream of the blessings of the lotus holder always enter our hearts and nourish them with strength. May we please you with offerings of dedicated practice, and may we reach beyond the sure, perfect, compassionate deeds. Through the blessings of the wondrous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by the infallible truth of the laws of dependent origination, and by the purity of our fervent aspirations, may the aims of our prayers be fulfilled without hindrance. Okay, now cutting the cake. Okay. Okay, maybe Dr. Anandaj, you come. Dr. Anandaj, you come. You are the one who made this teaching possible. You come. And the youngest one, they then come. Dr. Anandaj, come. And also Pamela. Where? Where is she? You know why, Pamela? Dr. Andaji is the one who coordinated this, who made the request. And she's the youngest one, pulling all the younger ones from the world. And then the Pamela, it's her birthday as well. And Venerable Pamela, you must come. Because you are the one. You are the one who is making sure that everyone is taken care of. Is amazing. And in fact, to be very honest, with Tushita, while Venerable Kumbhela is there, I meet with anyone, I say that don't worry. Just write to Venerable Kumbhela and something good will happen. This is the amount of confidence that I have. I know Venerable Kumbhela's effectiveness plus the warmth. That's amazing. Okay. For all the good ministries. Kamala. Happy birthday for Kamala. Thank you.